Hey folks, there is a recent circular by IRDA regards to amendment of arbitration clause in general insurance policies. The key feature of this amendment says arbitration clause is not applicable for retail policies. What is the amendment or a circular given by IRDA? Let us read it out. For commercial policies, this circular reads as the parties to the contract may mutually agree and enter into a separate arbitration agreement to settle any and all disputes in relation to this policy. I'll read this out again for you. The parties to the contract may mutually agree and enter into a separate arbitration agreement to settle any and all disputes in relation to this policy. I see a lot of comments in social media about this circular given by the IRDA on arbitration clause. We'll take expert advice on this by Atmaram sir, and I'll read out few comments which are circulating in the social media. Sir, one of the comments says the circular is vague and it does not make anything automatic and it is not pro for the insured and all. So what do you say about it, sir?
Ram, I will take the second question first. The statement in the social media that it is not pro-insured. This is farthest from the truth. The fact is this IRDA circular has been made to benefit the insured. I can understand if some insurers are against it. But as far as brokers are concerned who represent the insured and the insured themselves, they should be very happy with the circular. Let us try to understand what was the situation before and what is it that IRDA wants to change. The situation before was that there was a standard clause. That clause said, that was applied for every policy, every commercial policy. That clause said, if there is a dispute between the insurer and the insured, as far as quantum is concerned, you can go for arbitration. If the dispute is on the admissibility of the claim itself, you cannot go for arbitration. That means you have to go for civil courts to fight it out. And as we know, civil courts take decades to give the judgment.
Yes.
Whereas arbitration is a fast process. Now what is the change? The change is they are leaving it to the contracting parties, that is the insured and the insurer, to decide whether they want only quantum to be arbitrable, they want both quantum and admissibility to be arbitrable, or they wanted nothing to be arbitrable. So they are leaving that flexibility to the contract makers. That is the biggest change. Now comes the question that could not have IRDA made it a standard clause and forced it onto the policies. In my view, what IRDA has done is it has beautifully worded it in such a way, it has given flexibility to the contracting parties. If the contracting parties are able to understand this fact, that it is in the benefit of the insured if every aspect of the insurance contract is arbitrable, they will make this successful. If you look at the position before, I have seen many claims where the insurance company orally used to tell to the insured, for example, the insured asked for a claim for 10 crores, the insurance company says, I will pay you 5 crores. If the insured accepts, they would to pay it. If the insured rejected it, they did not put it in writing that my offer is for 5 crores. They used to write, your claim is declined because of some reason. Because they did not want the option of arbitration to be available for the insured.
Okay.
Why? Because they knew that the insured goes for arbitration, it's easy for them. Whereas if he goes to when he goes to the courts of law, he will have to run behind the courts for 10 years, 15 years to get a judgment which was in favor of the insurer, which is a stronger party. So that's the reason why they used to decline it, so that it did not become arbitrable. Now with this particular change, you can ensure that once you are allowing this all aspects to be arbitrable, you will ensure that you will have speedy judgment as far as any disputes are there between the two parties. This is one part of your question. The second part is people say it's vague. There's no vagueness in it. It is only giving flexibility.
Oh.
because we have got used for decades to one standard clause which has been created by the wisdom of some group of people 3 decades or 4 decades away, and we have been following that clause. We started thinking that we can't make changes to it. All international policies have every aspect of the contract arbitrable.
Okay.
Only in India this differentiation between quantum and reducibility came in. So all that our IRDA has done is it has given that flexibility. Because we have got used to standard things, we are thinking that IRDA should also put a standard thing and force everybody. They have given that flexibility. So it's up to the insured to whose benefit it is to force insurers to make this arbitration clause as wide as possible.
Okay. So now, is this right to exclude retail customers from this clause?
Again, we need to remember that retail customers have many options. One of the beautiful options is the IRDA's integrated grievance redressal system.
Okay.
Beyond that, they have insurance ombudsman. You have the consumer court. So there are many ways a retail customer can get his grievances solved. And second, it is not cost effective for a retail customer as far as arbitration is concerned, because consumer courts and ombudsman are much more cost effective. That's the point of view in which IRDA said it's applicable only for commercial policies, not for retail policies. Again, a very great decision by IRDA.
Sir, since you were mentioning that it is pro-insured,
Right.
how can this pro-insured circular be successfully implemented?
To implement it successfully, first the correct knowledge among the insuring public should go that it is in their favor. Once they know it is in their favor, to make all aspects of the insurance contract arbitrable, they will force the insurers to put the clause in such a way that every matter becomes arbitrable. Now, the insureds are not one collective body. One collective body should take it up. One of the best collective bodies is the Insurance Brokers Association, which is representing the insured. Unfortunately, many brokers are forgetting that they represent the insured. They think they are representing the insurers. They are representing the insured. If you are really representing the insured, why can't IBAI, which is the Brokers Association, come up with a model clause and say every brokered policy will have this model clause? Once brokers force it, insurers are going to implement it. The second part of it, there may be one or two proactive insurers who will make this as a part of their standard wording and say to the market, we are for speedy resolution of disputes. That is why proactively we are coming up with this clause. Once one or two insurers come up, it will force other insurers to follow, because that becomes one of the unique selling points for those insurers.
Yes.
So this is the way you can make it successful. Unfortunately, there is a belief only if IRDA forces things, it becomes successful. Why should IRDA force? Why can't the best interest of the client make things successful? And I believe this circular is a great step forward, which is going to make insurance penetration high, because I always strongly believed insurance penetration will only increase if there is a belief in the insured that all genuine claims will be paid, and if they are not being paid by the insurer, they have a proper grievance redressal mechanism. And alternative dispute resolutions is a good mechanism, and that is the reason why this clause, I believe, is a great step. Thank you.
Friends, this is a great initiative by IRDA, and the bodies like IBAI, CII and FICCI should take this up sincerely to ensure the initiation of IRDA to help the insured. This is really going to help Indian insurance penetration, and consumers will have trust on insurance industry.